Bruin News Now is made possible by the generous support of C-Spire, Orange Theory Fitness, St. Dominic's, and these fine sponsors. This week on the show, St. Joe has several changes for the new school year. Bruin football readies for a new era under a new coach. And look for hot summer heat to continue for at least the next month. Weather, sports, and all the news are next. This special back-to-school edition of Bruin News Now for Monday, August 8th, 2022 begins right now. From the B&N headquarters on the campus of St. Joseph Catholic School in Madison, this is Mississippi's high school news leader, the award-winning, student-produced high school newscast, Bruin News Now.
Hello everybody and welcome back to St. Joe and the first episode of Season 8 of Bruin News Now. I'm Emerson Irwin.
And I'm Zanaya Purvis. I should add a special welcome to our new 7th graders as well as new students joining the Bruin family this year in the grades 8 through 12.
I can't believe school is back in session. It seems like we just ended the 2021 to 2022 school year yesterday. Summer break flew by and now we are back on campus and ready to start it all over again.
The St. Joe campus hasn't been that quiet this summer, with students here for several sports camps, as well as cheerleaders and Spirit Steppers dance team members practicing for the new year. It's been a pretty busy place.
Besides that, St. Joe's had a lot of work on campus this summer, preparing for the new school year, all in an effort to welcome new and old students back to our campus.
We even have quite a few new faces among this year's faculty. B&N Paige Loy-Alcano takes a look at all the changes in store for the new school year.
Some of us hit the snooze button this morning, wanting a couple more days to sleep in. Others eagerly woke up to start the new school year. No matter what group you fell under, the St. Joe teachers, staff, and administrators have been doing much to prepare for the 2022-23 school year. There have been many new exciting changes on campus. For the past 2 years, changes have revolved around the COVID-19 pandemic, but for the first year and what feels like a while, COVID-19 is not the key point of discussion as we move into the school year.
I'm looking forward to a great year. We have 80 students in the 10th grade and 80 in the 11th grade, so we are growing, and so there are new faces coming. I look forward to everybody meeting new people and making new friends and starting our year and meeting all their new teachers.
Each year during the summer, the campus and classrooms get their annual clean, but this year there was a little more to it. In the 400 building, the floors were replaced to match the floor in the 500 building. All of the lockers except one set were ripped out. In the 500 building, stations of the cross as well as religious artwork were hung. The stations were donated from Mercy Hospital in New Orleans. The hospital had been affected by Hurricane Katrina, and the stations required cleaning, but now are looking good as new while still holding their history. One of the more practical changes on campus is the new bridge that connects the two sides of campus, as well as the bridge leading down to the visitor side of the football field. A new awning was also constructed outside the cafeteria. Dr. Jay Tice, who passed in 2020, came to Dr. Kinsey with the idea of freshening up the area. In honor of him and his love for St. Joe, the awning has been donated in his name.
As well as the many cosmetic changes, there's also new teachers that have been added onto this staff.
Coach Dan Lott, who coaches football as well as teaches English 1. Also in high school is Coach Witherspoon, who will coach basketball and teach Human A&P. New middle school teachers include Miss Boyd, who will teach 8th grade English, and Miss Fraser with 8th Religion. Miss Peroni is teaching 7th grade science as well as coaching tennis. Miss Sigler will also join the 8th grade team as the social studies teacher. And lastly, our returning teachers include Miss Lambert, who will come back to teach world history, U.S. history, and ACT prep. Miss Harkins, who is back in the theater department.
I am back at St. Joe teaching theater again. I've been in Chicago for the past 4 years, being an actor, doing some professional theater up there, which was exciting and fun. Got to work with a lot of different theater companies and do different roles and different aspects of theater. So I'm really thrilled to be back and share what I've learned.
And our last returning teacher is Mr. Callahan, who will teach physics, engineering, and AP computer science. Mr. Callahan also has plans to put the observatory back into use.
So when I was first here, we had a brand new telescope put in that observatory. really fancy, tracks things for you automatically and can find stuff in the sky for you. And then I don't think it's been used since I left. So we're getting the keys to that. We're going to get it back open. We're going to try to get that going again.
With all the changes for the 2022-2023 school year, it should be a great one. I'm Paige Liacano for BNN.
Ms. Harkins and Mr. Callahan also are St. Joe alumni. They are just two examples of how St. Joe remains an important part of the lives of many, our graduates who hold our school in high esteem.
You know, we have a pretty strong, respected faculty here. In fact, Jenna Murphy, the high school history teacher and a St. Joe alumna herself, is a good example. Mrs. Murphy is the Mississippi 2022 History Teacher of the Year.
The annual award is presented by the Gilder Lehrman Institute of American History in New York City. Ms. Murphy is now a finalist for the 2022 National History Teacher of the Year Award. Congratulations.
It shows all the hard work that people put into St. Joe every single day. It shows that we are committed to having a challenging but also really well-developed curriculum, and that we want to make sure that our students are ready to go into the real world with a background knowledge so that they can make the kind of decisions that we are hoping that they will be in the positions to make one day.
Two St. Joe graduates are the latest to study for the priesthood. E.J. Martin, a member of the class of 2011, will start next month at Notre Dame Seminary in New Orleans, and Stratton Girard, a member of the class of 2016, will attend St. Joseph Seminary College in St. Benedict, Louisiana, this fall. Girard will join two other recent St. Joe graduates who are also attending St. Benedict on their journey to the priesthood: Grayson Foley, class of 2020, and Will Fogo, class of 2017.
But I believe I hear the call of God to head to Notre Dame Seminary and study the priesthood. I believe it's His mercy and His love, understanding that dying to oneself, you really live and you find the grace to take the calling to the vocation. So I'd encourage you kids not to be scared to listen to what's God's calling and His vocation for you.
And so after a lot of prayer and discussing things with our vocation director, Father Nick, and just with a lot of other priests in the area and a lot of other of my contemporaries, my age group, I just felt like this was not a call I could ignore anymore. Like I was being, felt like God was guiding me and shepherding me to this being where I needed to be for the next step of my life.
New students, including 7th graders, 8th graders, and high school students, stopped by campus on Wednesday for iPad training. Students met for sessions at noon or 6 p.m. in the library, led by Miss Sarah Brock. Students use iPads for most classwork.
If 7th graders and other new students want to have a memorable experience at St. Joe, they have ample opportunities to become involved. St. Joe offers students more than 20 sports, several after-school clubs, and other activities they can become involved in. Students say getting involved makes high school and middle school fun and unforgettable.
One school group that left their mark last year and looks to improve this year is the St. Joe Choir. Choir members participate in weekly Mass, the Gifts of the Season Christmas concert, and the Spring concert. If you are interested in joining the award-winning choir, please see Miss Tony Canizero in the Fine Arts Building.
Speaking of getting involved, members of the Student Council met last Thursday on campus for their first retreat. The elected student leaders participated in team-building exercises, discussed ways to improve campus, and began planning several high-profile events, including homecoming.
We talked about the homecoming and prom for next year and the other events for the 2022-2023 year, and we talked about some problems and solutions with the student body.
Well, school starting means a watchful eye on the weather with sports looming in the background. Are y'all excited for school to start?
Not really.
What about football season?
Yeah. This will be my first high school football game, and I get to perform at halftime.
Really? Us too!
Stick around for the sports segment where I will talk about football and all the Bruin sports on campus. Hey Bruin fans, I'm Gia Picarella and this is the Bruin News Now Sports Report. Topping this week in sports is Bruin varsity football. The Bruin football team has been training hard throughout the summer and hopes to improve on last year's 4-7 record. This year, the Bruins entered the 2022 season with a new head coach, Jason Moore, the former defensive coordinator. I spent some time with the football team last week to find out how they plan to win more games and make it to the state championship.
The football team has been working hard this summer under head coach Jason Moore. Coach Moore was the defensive coordinator last year and is excited to be the head coach this year. He has brought many positive changes to the team, such as 2 new coaches, offensive coordinator Ben Cheatham and wide receiver coach Daniel Lott. Coach Moore stated that this year's biggest challenge was finishing strong due to having a small team, but they ensured size and stamina won't be a problem this year.
And I'm ready for the Friday night atmosphere. I'm ready for our guys to be able to compete, to be able to contact, hit on other teams instead of ourselves at practice.
Before joining the Bruin coaching staff, Daniel Lott assisted East Mississippi Community College to 2 national championships. Coach Lott was drawn to St. Joe's family atmosphere, where he now trains wide receivers and other offensive positions.
I'm excited about it, because I think we got the guys to do it. I think we got some talent at some positions that other teams I don't think have. Our guys have been practicing really hard, getting better at the little things.
The coaches aren't the only ones excited for the 2022 football season. The football players anticipate that this season will be a great one. The first home game is August 19th against Copiah Academy. The Bruin offense is led by 10th grader Emil Picarella, who believes the game against Copiah will be a great one to watch.
They're a good team. They have some players, but we have a better coaching staff and better football players than them. And it should be fun, so come out, support.
The season opener, 7 p.m. Friday, August 19th, against Copiah Academy here at the Bill Rayfield Field. And girls soccer, the Lady Bruins kicked off their season on Tuesday against MRA. The Lady Bruins played an impressive game, but ultimately tied 1-1. On Thursday, August 4th, the Lady Bruins had their annual blessing of the cleats before their loss against Jackson Academy.
So our season kicked off on Tuesday. We played MRA on Thursday against JA, and I think we're going to have a great year, and I'm excited for our season.
Lady Bruins softball is in full swing with the new coach, Joseph Dykes. They played in a tournament at Holmes County. They beat Discovery Christian 20-3 and lost the second 2 games. On Tuesday, Lady Bruins run-ruled their opponent in the 3rd inning with a score of 26-16. In Lady Bruin volleyball, the team also welcomed a new head coach, Sydney McEachran. The Bruins started their season with a tough game against Jackson Academy that resulted in a loss 26-24. And Bruin Swim, the boys and girls, have been practicing as usual, beginning early in the morning, well before the sunrise. The Bruins, under the guidance of Coach Lori Collins, hopes to improve their second year in the MAIS. The team had its first meet and beat MRA Prep and Regents. Their next meet is Monday against MRA Prep and Regents.
I feel like it's going to be a good season. We got some new people, and everybody on the team is putting in the work. Our first meet went good. We got first place, and we're just ready to see where the rest of the season takes us.
One final fall sport, cross country, begins practice today after school. Coach Matthew Sigler will guide this year's cross country team. Look for more on cross country on our next edition of Bruin News Now Sports Reports. Well, that's it for this week. I'm Jay Picarella, and go Bruins.
Hello Bruins, it's your weatherman Trey. Today you can expect highs in the 70s and lows in the 60s, with a 37% chance of rain and a few thunderstorms tonight. Humidity at 91%. Tuesday you can expect a high of 89 and a low of 73, a 36% chance of rain and humidity at 73%. And for the rest of the week you can expect it to be hot and rainy. Well, that's it for your Bruin News Now forecast. And remember Bruins, I'm Compretta with the weather.
Thanks, Trey and Gia. School starts today, but as we said earlier, preparations have been underway since the end of last school year. In fact, St. Joe wasn't the only ones preparing for the new school year.
The WAPT TV morning news crew stopped by the St. Joe campus a couple weeks ago. They spent one long Friday morning here filming a 30-second TV spot to promote their station's back-to-school coverage.
The morning news crew filmed in the library, classrooms, and even on our school bus. Several of us were here on campus to participate. BNN's Maddie Claire Spence takes a closer look.
Jackson is going back to routines.
Back to school, your 16 WAPT morning.
That clip was only a fraction of what WAPT News shot at St. Joe. On July 15th, the WAPT News team came to St. Joe to film their back-to-school promotion. Some of the students from our very own BNN came to learn from them, and it was a great experience to learn from professionals and learn tips to apply to the Bruin News Now newscast.
The reason that we have promotions is because it's really just kind of a promise of what the viewer can expect when they watch our station, a reason to watch our station, and what the viewer can get different at our station that the other stations can't give the viewer. Promotions are very important because that's how we get our brand out there, that's how we get our message out there of this is why we are the station that you need to watch.
Out of all the schools in Mississippi, WAPT News chose St. Joe as their host for the promotion. They also got a couple of BNN's anchors to be in the background of the footage to be students.
First of all, St. Joe is an amazing school. We also, at WAPT, have a future St. Joe grad in our family. So, amazing school, amazing facility, and you guys are always so kind to us. So, this was the place to do it.
WAPT gave us great experience that we can apply to our show. I'm Maddie Claire Spence for BNN.
From supplies to schedules,
From books to bus routes.
it's all here.
So if you can get them out of bed and out the door.
We'll make sure you're all prepared.
For everything back to school, trust Jackson's 16 WAPT Morning News.
Thanks, Maddie Claire. That was a fascinating day watching how long it took to film just a 30-second TV spot. It's not surprising, especially considering how long it takes to plan and produce our own weekly newscast.
Hi, Gia.
Hey, I brought a friend.
Hey guys.
Oh my god, it's competitive with the weather.
It's hot out here. Very hot.
And it's gonna be hot Friday at the game.
I hope not.
Are you gonna be there?
Yeah, I'm going.
Me too. Are you?
I think so.
Are you gonna be on Spirit Steppers?
Probably.
Okay. That sounds fun.
Yeah. Okay, so one more thing before we go. St. Joe is bringing back the color guard this year. Any students in any grade who is interested in joining the color guard, you can talk to Miss Megan Fraser in room 306 or Miss Melissa Munoz in room 504 by Friday, August 12th.
The color guard is a great way to meet other students. It helps with your college resume, and it's a great way to get involved on campus, just like we were talking about earlier. Well, that's it for this week's edition of Bruin News Now. BNN will return in about 3 weeks when we start our regular weekly edition of our award-winning newscast.
Until then, like, share, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, and so long, everybody. This will be my first high school football game, and I get to perform at the... I'm sorry, there's a spider in your hair.
With a tough game against Jackson Academy. Are you about to laugh? And
All it is, it's really hot.
That's an understatement.
Sounds about right. Okay, so one more thing.
Too much of a pause.
At halftime with the Spirit Steppers.
Really? Us too?
Come on.